Achieving your goals, part 2. Your powerful inner drives. Motivation matrix. The greatest difficulty with carrying out a plan is maintaining your drive all the way through the process, keeping going even when it's hard to continue. Churchill said, "Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential." Many people face problems when they make long-term plans because they're mainly trained to respond to short-term motivation, instant gratification of the see, want, have type. Such motivations rarely last or need constant renewal. If you try to motivate yourself that way in the long term, it's likely you won't get very far. Now, you don't want your dream plan to end up like 99.9% of New Year's resolutions, dead and forgotten within days. If you plan your motivation poorly, it's likely to fizzle out just like that. Motivation is the driving force behind change. It provides all the thrust necessary to get moving and to keep going until you get there. What things are motivating? Well, in the broadest sense, we're attracted by pleasure and repelled by pain. However, when most people set out to improve their lives, they tend to ignore these common sense principles. For example, let's consider New Year's resolutions. The common choices people make are to give up something they like or take up something they don't normally enjoy. Well, it's not difficult to see why these choices fail. In the first case, they're trying to move away from pleasure, and in the second, they're trying to move towards pain. So remember that you're designed to move towards pleasure and away from pain, and that'll make your dreams much easier to accomplish. Simple. These two ways of motivating ourselves are often referred to as towards and away from motivation, the old carrot and stick routine or pleasure-pain principle. Now, if you think that changing your motivation is difficult, I have good news for you. You just need to shift your thinking in one way. There is a towards and away from motivation for every change, and it's important to use both correctly. A second dimension to consider when choosing your motivators is, does the motivation come from inside you or from the outside? External motivation. Sometimes other people or certain circumstances can give us the drive to achieve some goal. Bear in mind though, if your driving force comes from outside, you might have no control over it. Internal motivation. It's much better to be internally motivated, to move forward based on your internal dialogue, pictures, sounds, and feelings that connect to a powerful personal source of energy and determination. The combination of these motivating factors forms a motivation matrix. External, away from. Bad circumstances. In some situations, we can be motivated by antagonists or by bad circumstances. If you're motivated by moving away from a bad situation, there may be a certain point on your journey where you're far away enough that it becomes more bearable. And the energy runs out of such a motivation at that point. If you aren't at your goal yet, you'll need to quickly find another driving force to get yourself back on track. External towards, positive comparison. Suppose, for example, that competing with another person motivates you. Your drive comes from wanting to be better than their finest effort, a positive comparison. This can be a very strong driving force, but because it's an external motivation, it is susceptible to outside influences. Suppose, for example, your competitor drops out of the contest. If putting them out of the race wasn't your final goal, any motivation they gave you is just vanished. Internal away from, negative comparison. If you're motivated by moving away from a bad situation or set of circumstances that you envision constantly on the inside, your energy and determination will stay with you at least as far as the goal. This negative comparison between your desired circumstances and your internal motivating image will supply all the emotional driving force you need. However, the process is set up in such a way that you'd feel bad until you reach your goal. This makes such motivation useful, but less than ideal. Internal towards, positive vision. On the other hand, you can be motivated by a more positive internal experience, moving towards favourable conditions based on your internal dialogue, pictures, sounds and feelings that connect to a powerful personal source of energy and determination. This positive vision will sustain you and it will feel positive throughout the goal-seeking process. In short, it's much healthier and more effective as a source of motivation than the other three. To summarize, when considering motivation, think about whether you're more motivated by moving towards pleasure or by avoiding potential pain. Consider too how you can make use of your new understanding of internal and external motivators so you can create inspiring circumstances which move you forward in the best way possible. For more, visit mindskills-training.co.uk or go to amazon.com and purchase the Goal Mastery book.